Morning, Samantha from Soul Pathways, 7:31 a.m. Just dropped my son off to school, and I needed to note today, when I got in my vehicle at 11 minutes past 7, I came in here in my rear view mirror. I had to adjust it. Now for drivers who know will know, you don't typically have to adjust your mirror. You set it and you go, which makes me question who's been in my vehicle. Overnight, because when I left my vehicle yesterday, I merely just went to meditate. Got my kid. I didn't even meditate yesterday, actually. I just got my kid and came home. I didn't meditate in the afternoon yesterday. So, after picking up my child, my car did not move. So why is it that I'm adjusting my mirror? See, I had to adjust it up. Somebody or something hit my mirror. When they put it back, they made me short. I'm much taller than I seem. When I looked into the mirror today, I couldn't even see out my back window. It was looking at the seats. This will be shown in court. Because twice, two things overnight in the dark have happened. Now, somebody's messed with my vehicle overnight, has a way to get in my vehicle when I'm the only one with the keys. And two, I don't know what they took out of my vehicle, but we'll see. It just proves that maybe all my car problems are due to other people. You owe me a vehicle. I've been saying that since day one. Somebody's buying me a new car and paying this shit off. Yes, you are. And two, the night before, while I was asleep, somebody went into my computer and locked it. And I don't have a recovery code for that. It's somewhere in, God knows, Europe, I think. Because I didn't lock it. I had just used the same computer a month earlier. So this is me noting. Because the last thing a person expects to come into their car when I'm the only one on my insurance and on this car. Registration, you should legally be driving this car. I shouldn't be having to adjust my mirror ever, because I'm the only one who drives this car. So why in the hell was my mirror out of place this morning? Care to share? Anybody. Do know that despite anybody's best efforts to hide anything, these things will come to light, and they will be used against you in a court of law. This I promise. Anything you do against me will be used against you in a court of law. I'm not somebody who doesn't follow through. I never gave a time. You know how this is. With legal stuff, it just takes a minute. Gotta collect evidence and wait for timing. Seems time's up almost. And you guys, because of that, whoever you guys is, making a lot of brash, impulsive moves that make you look, they incriminate you, basically. Incriminate you, not me. Yeah. So I wanted to document this because yesterday I used my car twice. Once to pick up my kid and once to collect them. I didn't go grocery shopping. I didn't do calisthenics in my vehicle to knock that mirror out of place. I didn't knock my head into the mirror. There's no reason for that mirror to have been out of place today. And it's not a loose mirror, as you can see. It's on there. So whatever hit it with force. And then they were like, they didn't know how or where to set it again for me. Duly noted. Not worried. You can't cover up anything, and whatever you're trying to do, backfire. You may forge a plan, but it will not prosper. You understand? Okay. It's June 3rd. And again, this is me documenting. I guess this case is much more than just gang stalking anymore. This is a lifelong case. It's like a hate crime and a terrorist crime. Crime against humanity. All rolled into one. For the amount of things that I've suffered through at the hands of absolute strangers, it's unfathomable. The things that people think they can do to people, other people, invading their privacy, breaking multiple laws. This whole idea of ownership, I keep getting through. Like, people think they own me. Okay, not. In no way, shape, or form will anybody ever own me or control me. I'm sovereign. Under God, I'm sovereign, and I'll always be sovereign. Even in my kingdom marriage, I'm still first and foremost an individual, an independent person. Nobody owns me, and nobody will ever own me, ever. That's to be highly understood. But we're looking at identity theft. We're looking at cyber terrorism. We're looking at RICO charges, embezzlement, laundering, fraud, theft, mimicry, forgery. The list goes on and on. Harassment. So, I mean, and we're talking different levels, because you guys have stolen money through the identity theft. You used my identity to steal and embezzle and launder money, and you siphoned money out of the DoorDash through illegal transfers, and used my name and things to cover up your crimes, trying to get me caught up. Problem is, how do you make somebody who's squeaky clean look like they're dirty? You don't. Not when they're protected by God. Not to mention what I feel you've done to my family. I got confirmation today that my mother did pass away October 14th of last year. I wept. I didn't even get to say goodbye to her. What you did to my family through the use of things unprovable in the court of law, but still most people know exist. Dark magic. And things that, tools even the CIA uses. Like remote viewing. Similar to astral travel. Said similar, not the same. Concept of viewing people without their knowledge and crossing certain boundaries, breaking certain laws. See, the CIA can use these tools illegally, but yet they're not acknowledged in the court of law. How is that even remotely fucking possible? That we can use tools like this to harm our civilians, but we can't then stand up for them in the court of law. Everybody knows about Stargate and the MK Ultra program. And they're not dead. Sorry, folks. You can piss off with that bullshit. In fact, I'm pretty damn sure there's a whole new program going on. I don't know the fucking name, and I don't care. Go ahead, put 5,000 new videos out today with a new name. I don't care. Because YouTube is the ad central for gang stalkers. It's Illusion City. But what is real? There's always a little nugget of truth and then a shitload of lies. And it's my job, with divine backing, to find the truth. And I always find the truth. Might take me a minute, but I find it. And then you go to prison. Club torture for civilians with gifts or that the government feels is a threat. This club is closing down. Maybe not today. Maybe not this month. Maybe not even this year. But it's going to end. I promise you. Because what this little shitty club does to people is insanely inhumane and preposterous. And I will live to tell this story and advocate with every ounce of my being against it. And yes, there will be people who will back me, support me, and propel me forward in that mission. You guys have fucked with the very last person or group of people. You understand? And I say that as kindly as I possibly can, because I'm raging inside. I just don't even think you understand or comprehend, but perhaps you do, the magnitude of what you've done. To people who didn't even deserve it. I, for one, didn't even know it was happening for the longest time. It's insidious. At least for me, it was insidious. The level of pain is uncomprehendable. Yeah, and I wouldn't ever want anybody to go through the amount of stuff I've been through. And I know, because I've been told it so many times, and I'm continually getting confirmation as I'm talking. Nobody else would have made it. And I only made it because of God. It is that simple. My closeness to God and understanding of God and wanting to be with Him. And not letting go, ever. Just being ravenous and uncompromising on my own end and for my own life. Because nobody, and I repeat, nobody is going to take it away from me. Nobody has that right. Last I checked, America was the land of the free. What the fuck? Yeah, okay. Deluded bunch of fucking idiots. When you got a bunch of fucking psychopaths running around. It's true. And that is why God showed up. To help clear it out. Because as much as it's true, it's still wrong. That's also true. And that isn't how it was meant to be. That's also true. This was supposed to be a place of growth and more freedom. This was not supposed to be a place where people could be targeted and tortured and controlled to the extent that's being uncovered through me. Land of the free. My ass. Nobody's free here except the people who are stealing everybody else's money And even then, they're not free. What's freedom anyway? Subjective, if you ask me. We wrote all the amendments and, all these documents for America that were supposed to provide us with liberties. But all mine were broken. All my basic liberties were broken. I could sue America. Federally, if the military is involved, as I've been being shown for 2 years, that a group of veterans, and maybe even active military and active police and judges in this state, so now we're at a state level, where's the freedom in that? Where is the freedom of being born gifted by God and others knowing by breaking spiritual law and looking into people's Akashic records and knowing all about their lives before they do? And that's how they knew to target that person their whole life. That's what happened here. Confirmation. Where's the freedom there? So I was oppressed from before I was even birthed. All this junk on YouTube about a prophecy. Okay, whatever. I'm open. I am. End of times, fine. Though I'm not much for the religious aspect, I do understand what the end times is about. My whole life has felt like end times, folks. Especially the last 4 to 5 years. I don't think anybody could comprehend the amount of bullshit I've suffered. And yet I'm the monster. I'm no monster. But that's what the gang stalker, the criminal groups want me to believe. Is that I'm unloved, unsupported, that I'm the monster and I'm the bad guy. And I should get no help from anybody ever. Not financially, not emotionally. I should have no empathy because I'm a bad, bad person. And let me ask you, for what? Because I was born? Why are you doing to me what you're doing? Care to explain? Care to explain why it's so damn important to you to continue on for years and years and years? Why did you start it to begin with? Care to explain for the entirety of the world how I'm the monster when you're the one who's following me around, doing bad things to me? Targeting me, preventing my freedoms. If you ask me, that's projection. I don't like to play the victim role, but I'm the victim here. Let's get that straight. I'd much rather be an advocate, because I will make it out. Victim doesn't seem right. I'm a target who made it. And I'm not about to sit back on my laurels and let a bunch of people who think they're entitled and better think anything less. Take a good look at somebody who's still got a good heart. You didn't destroy me. Far from it. I'm going to go on from here, and I'm going to live. I'm going to dream. I'm going to love. I'm going to have a career. And you're going to be the thing that everybody's going to know about and know never to do again. I'm not just going to survive, because I'm not that either. I'm a liver. I'm a happy person, and I'm going to make it. I'm going to live. You can survive or you can live. I am going to live. I choose to live. I choose. And that is freedom. Choosing. Choosing in your thought, choosing in your emotion, choosing in your actions. Folks, having the freedom to choose. And if one of those is taken, you still have the others that can help you. And you can choose in your spirituality as well. And I did that. And that should have probably went first. Sorry, Dad. Because I wouldn't have been able to do any of this without my father, God. You can call him whatever you want. I call him Dad because he's the only support I've had in years. Literally. My emotional support, financial support, empathetic support, him, and my spirit team. Thank God I'm a psychic medium. Thank God I'm a prophet, a chosen one, anointed. Starseed. I know who I am. For a world that loves labels, take this. I'm a good person. Despite all of that, I'm just a woman who's finding her way home. Who's living while she's doing it happily. I'm good. I'm a good person with a good heart. I didn't say perfect. Who wants to be that anyways? It's boring. You gotta mess up. I almost said the F word again. You gotta mess up. We are in Earth School. But at the end of the day, that's why we're here, to live. And as I said even in the last video or the one before, success is nothing but failure turned inside out. We don't always win, but when things like this happen, this has nothing to do with that until it comes to how you handle it. And I've spoken on this. Just want to get all that on video, covering myself. Nevertheless, how you choose to respond is going to determine your future in anything. When I knew I was being targeted or gang stalked, and I just knew without a doubt then, first thing I thought was, well, I'm fated to win this. That set the tone. Period. Without a doubt, a person, let's say you got two people heading down a freeway and they're going to hit another vehicle or hit a backup pile of cars, and both are going to wind up in an accident, and both could die. One decides to, in their last 10 seconds, to say, I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it, and the other one's like, oh shit, I'm going to die. Who do you think's going to live? I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it. Not so much on the I'm going to die. Unless something more is at play. Because there's loopholes. And it's just a baseline example to show you that your thoughts can become things. Final destination stuff, yes. But it is true. Because a few years back, I said, and I quote, I'm fated to win this and get out of this and move on from this, basically. There's no winner here. I don't feel like I've won shit except a bunch of fucking abuse. Let's get this straight. What I have won is my life back. I'm getting my life back from a bunch of people who stole it from me. And I will, and am. It is happening. Each one of those vehicles that you see in this video is pulling over here, and they're all just sitting in this conclave listening. Just saying. getting quite the little mass of people over here. It seems to happen whenever I'm over here, especially if I'm talking. Well, listen up, Buttercup. I don't know any of you who have done these things to me, to include whatever happened to my rearview mirror, which is why I started this video today. But I pray for you, because if you're hearing me, if you're seeing me in any way, hearing me, reading me on your phone, if you're capable of following me, GPS tracking, then you're involved. And I want you to know, you're most likely going to go at least to court, if not to prison, because you're breaking multiple laws by doing what you're doing to me. And God, not me, God is making sure this happens. Day after day I meditate, and you've watched, and you know when you think about it, regardless if you speak it out loud or not, you know God is with me. Don't think He's just with me. He's also with you. So as I'm sitting over there meditating and He's hugging me and protecting me, He is looking at you, tisking. Some of you He's trying to help. Others He's having patience with, and even others He's going to get you. He's going to make sure you go down for the things you've done. Not yesterday, but the day before. There was news to, I wouldn't even say it's news, it was the download of life in prison for some with regards to this. So some of you it will be life in prison the rest of your life. Can you imagine? Here you're trying to make sure I have no freedom, and you wind up losing all yours forever. Here you're trying to make me homeless, carless, moneyless. ESH 3300 was the license plate on that black vehicle. 4-door station wagon. Went right on Marketplace Circle. Nevertheless, many of you are getting prison time. How could you commit crimes like this and not? Many of you knew you would. Some of you were deluded to think less. Again, I pray for you. But if this is the kind of life you like to give other people, then you're better off the streets, out of society, because this is not the kind of society this world needs. Everybody deserves to feel safe and be protected. I'm talking people who haven't done anything. I am a prime example of somebody who's never broken a law, who doesn't drink, smoke, do drugs, anything illegal. I'm pretty boring. Police should not be looking at me, shouldn't be surveillancing me. I should be on no detective's radar. I shouldn't be getting videotaped. I shouldn't be nothing. I should be left alone. But all these things, plus some, have been going on to me for years because of some wealthy elite, criminal and corrupt, completely psycho terrorists. That's why I called it a hate crime. They took an innocent person. I'm not saying I'm perfect, let me explain, but my imperfections are not murder, are not child trafficking, are not drugs, are not illegal. My imperfections are way below that. But they took me and they used me as a cover-up to their criminality. Almost damn near destroying me in the process. And my child, for that matter. I got mail theft. I'm pretty sure I've been videotaped naked, and that video sold off on the dark web. I'm pretty sure there's a camera in my room, bathroom to be exact. I think neighbors on both sides of me are being paid to watch me. Both are young men, single young men, who I very seldomly see, but I have seen, and I know what they look like unless they've been changed out. And I know who put the camera in. I know exactly who put the camera in. Jose, the former janitor at ESA. That's how I know everybody at ESA is in on it. John Malone is in on it. Richard, in on it. All of the front desk crew, in on it. The new janitor, in on it. With the skulls all over his car, oh yeah, in on it. That's why I said this is big. Because corporations are involved. Government is involved. Courts, doctors' offices. Oh yeah. Mechanics, because they've messed up my vehicle on purpose. Trying to make me broke. How do you think I wound up losing all my... They gave me a very small tax return this year because they didn't want to give me... Well, they raped me. Let's just say that. They raped me. And then they broke my car down to make all my money go to my car instead of where it should have went. They nickeled and dimed my entire tax return into places it shouldn't have went. And then they get pissed off when I get help from other places. Like with my sons. You know, if this van keeps making circles, we're going to have problems here. This is the second time. You do know I'm videotaping, right? I'm videotaping you. And right there it says no parking. You see that sign in front of you? No parking, no stopping, no standing. Breaking the law. Yeah. Nevertheless. You see him? Right there. Right there. And me sharing my story is not against the law. I'm not breaking any laws by sharing your crimes in any way, shape, or form. Nope. Maybe you shouldn't have broken the law. Sorry. My glasses fell. So, I'm gonna let you know. One, you're being watched. You have no clue who's on your side and who's not. You have no clue who's undercover. You have no clue who I'm in contact with. In fact, many of you have no idea. No idea whatsoever. DD 63145 Henry Sheen. And there was a more heavyset guy with a brown beard, short hair, crew cut, complete beard. I mean, but it was short, white, Caucasian, looked to be between 20 and 35. Nevertheless, he just sat back there for God knows why. That was his second time around. But don't underestimate God. That's the who's watching you, in part. And I've already spoken that, so I have to move on. And I know it's been a minute. I don't do these videos every day. I'm going through a lot of things. And never did I ever intend for my videos to be like just on this, but this is my life in the moment. I'm dealing with a bit of a weight gain too for some reason, but working on getting it back off. People tend to get very, very, very upset when I look good. And they are like, she looks better than me, so let's put some weight magic. And, you know, in 2020, what was it, 2022 or 2023, it was my hair. So that's why my hair went from very long to very short, because they made sure my hair disappeared. I had hair down to here. And now it's my weight. They're upset because the people doing the black magic. Now we're talking the cults, the witches, warlocks, whatever. You know, things these courts don't recognize, but these same witches and warlocks happen to be their tellers and their police officers, Hello? They're judges. You do realize, I understand that being a witch is a double life kind of thing. Like, hello? Especially here in America, it's a moneymaker. Yeah, I'm a part-time witch and I'm a part-time judge. What do you need? Especially if you're corrupt. At least that's what's happened here for me. Understand, in my story, I can't say this is everybody. And I'll make it very clear. Just because a tree has a few rotten apples does not mean all of the apples on that tree are rotten. Let me be frank. Each one of us is unique. And how you think is very important. We live in a world that can be taken very extremely, like all or nothing. There's no gray area. No, there's a lot of gray area here. I'm pointing out corrupt individuals and officials within my city. And I know there are others. But let me be frank. There are good officials as well. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten to meet them yet. But I certainly know soon enough I will.